to ask, what the hell is up with Gen X? Why are we the way we are? Why does it seem that we don't care, that we have a scarred soul as tough as leather? Well, take a look at the image behind me. That particular image is a scene from a movie that for many of my generation caused great emotional pain and trauma. That was our first realization where something tore at you and made you hurt and feel. Now, and we get to that, and you want to talk about actual trauma, and everybody's got trauma. Well, guess what? You want to understand Gen X. You want to understand, like I said, our soul is scarred and it's like leather. And why are we the way we are? Well, here's a tip. If you want to truly understand us, you have to understand really what we went through. And the only way to understand it is to experience it. So first off, you need a collection of physical scars. I need bad ones, big physical scars. You know, maybe you were sitting there and you were fighting with a sibling. They threw a pair of scissors at you and they got you in the forehead. Or, you know, you got stabbed by a brother or sister while you were reaching for that last piece of chicken at the dinner table and they wanted it. Or you got the permanent scar on your chin because you were going down the stairs of the front porch of the house and your parents were in a rush and they thought you were going too slow, so they just give you a shove and you went down face first onto the sidewalk, and now you got a scar on your chin for the rest of your life because they did not give a shit. That's the actual I'm not talking minor stuff. You stubbed your toe or you got a paper cut and oh my God, or broke a plate. I'm talking real emotional trauma. Scarring, the physical kind of bad, like this finger here, up in the pinky on this side. There is no bone in there. It is crushed and it follows that scar. And the bone is shaped like that and pointed. And that I got when I was 3.5, getting folded up in a lawn chair and caught it in the hinge of a chair. Now, when you get to and you want to talk real trauma, that's what you have. And then on top of all that, you need that one injury that never healed right when you were a kid. You maybe had to have 1 or 2 surgeries to try and fix it. Maybe it was a broken bone that had to be rebroken once, twice, 3 times, and it never healed properly. So now you always got that pain. It always hurts. And now that you're older, it is even worse. That is just the beginning of the steps if you really want to understand us. And then here's the real kicker, okay? You need real, serious, 100%, totally fuck you up psychological trauma, real emotional trauma. I'm not talking that bull crap that people have today where they're off at the university library and someone comes in with a black backpack, but they only like pink and blue and somehow it messed them up. So they need 14 mental health days away from school and work. And then they need 6 months of counseling and intensive therapy and then have to be treated for PTSD. No, I'm not talking about that kind of BS trauma. I'm talking real emotional trauma. The kind you get because you came home, you're a little kid, you come home from school, you're about 11 years old, you walk in the house, the first thing your dad does is stands up and says, "That dog shit on the floor again, and that's it, I've had enough," and drags that dog out in the backyard and shoots it and then makes you dig the hole and bury it. I'm talking serious, real emotional trauma. You guys have fake trauma these days. It's not real. It is garbage. Real emotional trauma. The kind where it sits there and it's like you're arguing with your parents and saying, "I don't like supper. I want this, not that." And they say, "Yeah, get the fuck out." And you're tossed out on the street and you are done. You are over. It is done. They send you packing. Real trauma. You all have fake trauma these days, and it shows that none of you have ever had to deal with something seriously painful. Now you take all of that, okay, and then you're not allowed to go to therapy. You're not allowed to go to counseling. Anytime it goes to affect you, you have to take it and you have to swallow it till it knots you up and creates ulcers inside of you. And it hurts, and your heart hurts, and you're probably going to die of a heart attack early because of all that rage inside from everything that's done and all that. And the only thing that can fix it whatsoever is you drink. You self-medicate. You drink or you start doing some sort of drug. That is how you can slowly begin to understand Gen X and why we are the way we are and why we think the way we think and why we act the way we act. And I don't mean you just do it for a summer or a month or you get a couple of these things. I mean, you got to pile this shit on year after year after year after year. And eventually, maybe just once, you will look at something and you will see it and you will start to understand and you will think in just a little bit, you might understand us. And then you will realize that you need to walk away. Not challenge us, not step up unless you are ready. to get scarred, to get brutalized, to get emotionally beat down like you have never had before, because we don't pull punches, we don't talk nice, we don't apologize, we just destroy what tries to come at us.